It's the 6th of February 2011, and my eyes are drawn to the awakening inside the Spectrum, which is part of the Sunday Times magazine. And that film's being shot on about 3 million sterling. World War II, after World War II, 1921. Some good outtakes in the magazine. Good outtakes, well worth looking at. You should read the Sunday papers. I'm looking at the Sunday Business Post and the Sunday Times, starting with a lot of coverage for General Election 11. On Twitter, it's being hashed as GE11. Although the front article in the Sunday Business Post is about Mary Coughlin, appropriately titled WTF. And this is the woman who's in charge of things like jobs, and she had the idea of upskilling 9,000 workers affected by the downturn in construction. But you know what? She never went past the indicative application lodged with the European Commission, meaning this woman is responsible for ensuring that there may not be European money available to retrain people left out of work from the housing boom. Wow, this woman's incompetent in a lot of ways. Wouldn't have happened if a junior minister was able to do circles around her, but loyalty and tribal politics being the way they are, they squeezed out efficiencies of government under the Fianna Fáil regime. State of the party, as you can see them here, the poll results are well clear. Fine Gael plans to shift its focus to tax, committing a tax relief on pensions at the 41% rate. And there's other good stuff inside the papers, both of them. Not too sure the locals are going to do anything but vote for local things such as sewer grates and other issues. What's affecting me on the front page is this. Bernard McNamara's debts are more than €2 billion. Samantha McGoughan has a story. I did some work for the McNamara Enterprises and went unpaid in the end because the flow of money wasn't there. Here is Richard Bruton from Fine Gael talking about the unemployment crisis being combated with an E-Day proposal. It's an ambitious strategy for 100,000 jobs in 5 years, including the appointment of a minister for jobs. They're planning this thing called the Department of Jobs and Economic Planning, reshuffling some of the emphasis. When Brian Cowen reshuffled his cabinet, the word employment disappeared from around the minister's cabinet table. There was no industry and employment ministry. Adrian Weckler thinks it's important that parties need to spam to reach young voters, and he writes a column about it, answering the question, should anti-spam data protection rules apply to political parties during an election? He says no, explains why. You have to spam people because they don't read things like these papers. Owen Whelan, who I identify here as a guy who's got an idea, but he should follow perhaps this little advice. Adapt your ideas to the backpacks of the audience that's in front of you. That would be the third level college classes that he's teaching. We're running an event called ICT-EDU on the 14th of May. We're talking about the storytelling value that some of these technologies can have in education. Storytelling as it leads into transmedia and the overall narrative of education. The narrative of Irish jobs looks pretty bleak. David McWilliams and his columns say that banks are going to feel the hit because they have rapidly shrinking balance sheets, profits are being decimated, they're going to have to start cutting large numbers. It's all part of the effects of the meltdown in the Irish economy. Sunday Business Post gives a complete page to pressure mounting on the media industry. Looking like the year of consolidation will really hit home hard, Catherine Mahoney writes. Tribune, I went looking for it in my local shop, saw a gap where the Tribune's typically placed. I missed that paper, but I had a falling subscription basis, used to buy at least twice a month. Catherine also says that the new Twitterers have to include those who are involved in the political process, who are out there on the steps canvassing, asking questions like, is it silly to tweet things like choo-choo or nice morning? No, it isn't really. Is it bothersome? Are you annoyed by some people's behavior on Twitter? Well, just disconnect from them. But here's where she gets something wrong, and that's about hashtags. She thinks they're throwaway things. I don't know if Catherine's read anything from Radian 6 or looked at the durability of hashtags as they fit a bigger global syntax. Hashtags aren't just a throwaway thing that she would suggest in that article. We're running a course on social media for ex-Dell employees, and we cover that topic in great detail. On the front page of the Sunday Times, Labour is planning new loans that will have to cost the Irish taxpayer up to €5 billion. Don't like that idea. Inside the paper, there's some good coverage about what it is the idea encompasses. I wish they'd become part of a debate, but I think the average Irish taxpayer won't follow the debate. This would be an interesting read, and it's an article by Michael Lewis in Vanity Fair. Colin Coyle does the backstory behind an article called The Softened Bank Report Revealed. There's a lot of stuff in the article called When Irish Eyes Are Crying in the current edition of Vanity Fair that's required reading for anybody interested in the meltdown of the Irish economy. Essential reading. I'm keeping that article for my daughter to read in 10 years' time because she'll be looking at this number, €300 billion, the debt the Irish government's actually taken on to try to bail the country out. Damien Kybert in his column called Irish Outlook explains that mountain of debt that saddles the average Irish taxpayer. Some of the guys that are behind the scenes are immigrants in Ireland, and in the Sunday Business Post Agenda magazine, a good, well-written story about Ireland's immigrants and how they see the future of the country. There are some hopes, and they're spelled out in other parts of the paper. I'd say mobile broadband's a hope. That is to say, I carry a dongle in my pocket and it works out really well. The HSPA Plus network is something both Vodafone and O2 are looking at. It works. Mobile broadband isn't the same as landline or wired broadband. Maybe it's too technical even for the Sunday Business Post to cover in their well-written Computer and Business magazine this week. That paper's worth getting just for that magazine. Well done, Adrian Weckler. And finally, something you need to know if you're a listener, that would be you, John Hannafin. The magic way of opening your car, any car that has a key fob, kind of a device that you use instead of having a standard ignition key, you can intercept those key fob signals. And this interesting article in the in-gear section of Sunday Times explains that as you fob away from your car, €35 worth of kit can intercept the signal, allowing somebody to simply open the car, push the button, and drive away. We're driving today down to Clonmel. We're in our little car, 150,000 miles on it, and we're going to be showing you stuff on insideview.ie as well as over on flickr.com/photo/topgold about life ahead. Tune in to College Lives, a series that's running on the Tip FM series. College Lives is also a hashtag on Twitter. I hope to see you guys around on Twitter this week. My nick is topgold. Thanks a million for listening. Bye for now.